Good morning. Nice to see all of you. Well, my name, and what I will talk about two things. First, I will talk about artificial intelligence, and my view will be completely different than Danielle's. What I think we have been overselling artificial intelligence. What I think is going to go much more is the second part, the intelligence augmentation. And I think I can persuade you that that's the direction that we're going to go. I don't believe in singularity. I don't believe in general artificial intelligence. I think there's a tremendous amount of hype, okay? And let me start, okay? So this is my major concern, okay? There are a lot of things, there are a lot of achievements that have been done by artificial intelligence. A lot of them. Having a car that drives by itself is a fantastic achievement, okay? Having stores without employees, having a program that does diagnosis better than doctors, all of these things are great achievements. Having robots, a new painting done by artificial intelligence was sold by more than $400,000. But let's look at the critics and the supporters. The biggest supporter is Kerswell. Basically, he's saying that what Danielle said, that in our generation, we're going to have machines that are going to be much smarter than people. But if you look at the critics, Pearl is one of them, and he's someone who has done a great deal about artificial intelligence. And basically what he's saying, what artificial intelligence does, we have done it many years ago. Danielle, I wrote a book, I published a book in 1973. It was your example of the ice cream in this book. So a lot of things that we're doing, and we're saying it's artificial intelligence, actually it's not artificial intelligence. It's just optimization. We just give it a different name. And there are a lot of problems with artificial intelligence, okay? We don't understand it. It's a black box. So we have a very long way to go, okay? And there is this law, Amara's law, which says that basically in the short term, we overestimate what technology will do. In the long term, we underestimate it considerably. And one of the things I have been forecasting for a very long time, one of the things that we know is we're lousy in predicting the long term. And I'm going to show you some examples. So let's start and look at the achievements of artificial intelligence. Games. It's very good in games, okay? And it's very good in three things: in image, speech, and text recognition. All of the great achievements of artificial intelligence are around these three areas. I don't know if, let me go to the next one because I have to go fast. We don't know of any other clear achievements beyond games, image, speech, and text recognition. And if anybody knows, I would like to hear about them, okay? And I'm going to, you have to read very fast here, but this is probably the most important thing. They say that artificial intelligence is going to be smarter than humans. When artificial intelligence is going to be smarter than 1 year old? I think it's going to take many generations, okay? So what I think is happening in artificial intelligence, we have intelligence, but there is no understanding. We don't understand, and I'm going to show some examples of that, okay? Danielle talked about this, and we know a lot. Face recognition. Artificial intelligence does a lot. It's very successful in face recognition. There is the story that they found a fugitive in China. When he went to a rock concert, there were 10,000 people, and they caught him. Does this mean that artificial intelligence is smarter than people? Any answers? No. Well, according to some proponents of artificial intelligence, since they are so much better, it's smarter than people. But if you look the way it works, it takes 23 points in our face and measures the distance, and that's how it recognizes us. Is this intelligence? Yes, it is, right? Is there any understanding? There is zero understanding. Okay? It's a different type, a different form of intelligence. And that's what I think there's complementarity between what us humans are doing and what artificial intelligence is doing. And I think it's going to take very, very long time until we go to general artificial intelligence. Last week, there was a great article in New York Times. And basically, the whole idea of the article is artificial intelligence hits the barrier of meaning. There is no meaning. Artificial intelligence cannot understand anything. It's dumber than 1 year old. It's going to take a very long time to achieve this level of intelligence. Okay, so let me go to the next topic, which is intelligent augmentation, and which I think is going to keep us always ahead of artificial intelligence. We know very well these things. Computers are getting faster, cheaper. We can write programs which are huge. There's a lot of programs. There's another development, which is nanotechnology. This is a computer, and this is the size of the computer. It's the same like a fancy piece of salt. And what I would like to talk is about the implications of this type of developments, technological developments. The first thing that is going to happen, is going to happen very fast, is we're going to have the obsolescence of the keyboard and the screen. We're having voice recognition. That's part of what artificial intelligence is doing very well. And very soon we're going to have projections, so we're not going to need a screen. We see this in all of the science fiction movies, right? You can project any place. What will be the implication of this? The most important is going to be the widespread utilization of the cloud. Dropbox is going to be nothing in comparison to what we'll be able to achieve through the cloud when we're not going to need a keyboard and a screen. Okay. We're not going to need any more expensive computer equipment. A watch, a digital watch will be enough. We're going to talk, we're going to project any place we want. Okay? Now, imagine then that we'll be able to communicate directly from our brain and connect in the computer through the cloud. And already it's being done. There are two things: a non-invasive brain-to-computer interface, and things like this work already. We remember, okay, Hawkins, he was communicating by translating his face movements into the computer. And he was able to talk like this. And there are more modern ways of communicating by thinking silently to himself. So that's one of the forms of brain-to-computer interface. There is another one, which slowly is developing, which invasive brain-to-computer interface. Already we see it in people who are paralyzed. They insert some chips in their brain, and through their brain they can control their muscles, their hands, their legs. Okay? Now, these are very primitive. But I would like to show you a car 150 years ago. So technology is moving really fast, and eventually what we're going to have is we're going to have this little computer inserted invasively in our brain. And just think about the possibilities. And think what we can do if through our brain we can communicate through the cloud with all of the computers. And we're going to have the Google inside our head. So I'm not afraid that artificial intelligence is going to super succeed and it's going to become smarter than us, because through this we're going always to keep ahead a step of artificial intelligence. So the possibilities are endless. And they're not going to be only between brain and computer interface, but it's going to be brain-to-brain communications. BBC, brain-to-brain communication. Since we're going to have a computer who can communicate with others, like in a Wi-Fi mode. Now you tell me these are too much, huh? There are already companies that are trying to do that. This company, Braintree, basically tries to do that. It tries to create brain-to-computer interface. And our favorite Elon Musk saying basically that he's going to have something practical in the next couple of months. We cannot believe him, but that's what he's saying, at least. Okay, now, what will be the role of blockchain, since this is a conference about blockchain? Now, if we worry about hacking, imagine hacking when everything is going to be on the cloud. Okay, so blockchain is going to be the way to minimize this hacking. And the other thing that's going to be even worse and more threatening is hacking when we try to communicate between brains. Now, all of this may seem a lot like science fiction. Huh? I would like to put my favorite, and that was somebody say, who is 90 to 88, said basically that, forget it, cars can never go in the center of a city. Imagine at this time it was full of horses, it was full of people. It was impossible to have cars. Now imagine if at that point we were told, Jean-Baptiste say, that in 190 years there would be cars driving by themselves in the center of the city. It would have been utter science fiction. So don't think that all of the things we're talking about, intelligence augmentation, cannot become true. And to show you my favorite drawing is that in 1900, they tried to predict what will be a modern kitchen in the year 2000. Well, still child labor. Okay. No electrical appliances, nothing, okay, of this kind. And to go a little faster, these were children 150 years ago. Okay. One of the major concerns now is that artificial intelligence is going to create huge problems. Okay. In my view, there are great benefits. The only problem will be income inequality. And the new reports and the new research shows that actually there won't be any problems. Roger this morning saw different things: unemployment, extreme poverty, literacy, and GDP. All of them are going in the right direction. Technology is improving all of them. In terms of life expectancy, that was the Industrial Revolution. And since then, life expectancy is going extremely fast. Okay, I need to finish. What does all of this mean? The major thing is there's a complementarity of artificial intelligence and human intelligence. And I wouldn't worry about all of the negative things they're talking about artificial intelligence. And I think that if somebody is punching you, you're going to react, and we're going to develop ways to improve our own intelligence and be always a step ahead of artificial intelligence. Thank you very much.